It is a CSS library. Even though they say it is CSS, but it is actually holds HTML and JavaScript. HTML and JavaScript, but it is mainly popular for CSS. The Paradise Biryani Hotel is popular for biryani, but doesn't mean only biryani is available. Other items are also available. It is popular for biryani. Same way, Bootstrap has HTML, ready to use HTML, ready to use JavaScript, ready to use CSS, but CSS is popular. And we have already discussed in our last session, ready to use element selectors are there, class selectors are there. If we link that CSS, automatically can be used, but we have to specify some class names if you want it to be. Yesterday we have tried button, primary, secondary, like that. Remember? We have worked on it. Bootstrap works on around uh, eight colors actually. Works on around 8 to 9 colors. That means, if you are creating a website, for example, if you are creating a website, you don't use so many colors. Limited colors only related to the brand. For example, if you are developing a website for ICICI, for example, ICICI has their own colors. You will be using those colors. For example, if you are developing for Apple, Apple has their own color patterns. So Bootstrap is also designed in that way. There are around 8 to 9 colors they have created, and any component uses those colors. We can use those eight colors for any component. For example, we have seen in our last session also. Now let me show you. We have opened this. So now we have opened this Bootstrap index2.html with Bootstrap action. Here all are showing. See, if you observe here, the colors are same. Now see here, blue, gray, green, orange, red, like that. Here also the same. Blue, gray, green, red, orange, like that. What they have done, they have selected certain colors. For that colors, they have given certain names. That means they have selected a color called blue, or they have created a name called primary. For that primary, they have assigned blue color. They have created a name called secondary. They have assigned gray color. They have created a name called success, green color. And warning, orange color. Danger, red color. Again, light, some light color they have given. Dark, some dark color they have given. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Link. Some link color and info. Some light blue color they have. So they have created actually around 82. They have created some names. For each name, they have assigned some colors. The same 8 to 9 colors used in each and every. Now see here. Now, if you see, this is a alert. Alert is showing in blue color. Now, if I see the code of it, see the code of it. Now see, color primary. That means blue. Alert blue version. Alert secondary. That means alert gray version. Alert success. That means green. Danger. Warning. Info. Light. Dark. Now, if I see these badges, there also it's the same thing. Now, see, badge, warning, primary, danger, info, light, dark. Any element you can use any one of those eight warning colors. Got a point? Now, primary means blue. Now you don't want blue, you want purple. Yes, can be changed. Secondary means gray, you don't want gray, you want yellow. Yes, can be changed. Success means green, no, you don't want green, you want orange. Yes, can be changed. If you change those colors for those 7 or 8 colors, the whole component look can be changed. Here, everywhere it is primary only. Primary, secondary, info, light, dark, success, danger, those things only. But colors will be shown accordingly. That will be learning actually. Now, this we have tried with the HTML. Now, we wanted to try with the JSXM. React, I wanted to do it. As I said in our last session, they have created a separate version. React. Here also the same thing. See, primary, secondary, success. Primary, secondary, success, danger, warning, info, light, dark. Total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are there, not 9. 8, total 8 colors. Primary color, secondary color, success color, danger color, warning color, info color, red color, dark. 8 colors they have given. Now, I wanted to use it in React. That HTML I cannot use it. I have to create JSXM. So they have already created it and given it to us, which we can use it. Now let us try it. We will try this Bootstrap using React. So first of all, what I'll do, I'll create a project. So I have already so many projects created. I'm just dragging one. Okay, I will rename it as Bootstrap. Yeah. And I will open this. As I said earlier, this is the same project creation. I have created it earlier. It saves some time. I have shown you project creation so many times earlier. I wanted to save that time, so I have just created earlier. Then I will change the name here also. Now I wanted to run this project. Project is running. Now it will be creating a normal project. Now what I wanted to do, I wanted to make the UI much attractive, much easier. So I wanted to implement the Bootstrap. So now let us go through their documentation. And get started. See, the best way to consume React Bootstrap is via the npm package, which you can install with npm or yarn. Yarn is like npm, but that is from this. Okay, that you have to give separate command similar to this. So now, anyway, we are working on npm. Let's say npm install React Bootstrap. Right. Bootstrap. 2 packages we have to install. 2 packages we have to install. This will be getting components. This will be getting the CSS. used by these components. Got a point? So now we wanted to install these two things. Now the project is almost running. Now what I will do, I am just running it. So this terminal is busy in generating the project, rendering the project. So I have created a separate terminal. There I am installing the project. So npm install React Bootstrap. These for components. Then Bootstrap. This is for CSS. Actually, we'll get CSS also, but we'll be getting Saas also. Saas, because it is built using Saas, right? We'll be getting Saas also. But anyway, we'll be learning, we'll be working on that thing. Now I'm installing these packages. And the project is ready. Now once the packages are installed, I wanted to import it and I want it. Now I'm just removing all unwanted stuff. So we have deleted it. Now we wanted to try one after the other. We wanted to try one after the other. Let us see. Now let me come to this React Bootstrap. Now I wanted to use components. I wanted to use components. Like a button, I wanted to use it. For example, I'm clicking on button. I'm clicking on components, and in components, I'm clicking on buttons. Now, how to use it? First, import button from the Bootstrap. Then, use the button component, and you specify the variant you want. And this is like if I want, okay, let me first understand this. Okay, I think this is ready. Of course, nothing is there here. Now I wanted to use a button component. So first of all, what I have to do, I have to import button from Bootstrap. React Bootstrap slash button. We are importing it. I am giving that import statement. We are importing the button. Then I am using the variants of. Now I just repeat it. I just copy pasted it. Now I need to see. Why it is not coming? Perfect. We have installed React Bootstrap also, but we have imported uh, React Bootstrap only. We have imported button from React Bootstrap only. Where is the CSS? Normally CSS also we have to link. This is app.css that is linked. Then we have to link the CSS also. Now the CSS is not available. Now we have to go through their documentation how to use the CSS. Now, if you go through their documentation, there are multiple ways they have given it. Uh, they say the following line can be included in your src index.js or app.js. Now I am just copying it and importing it in app.js. This is normally we are importing our default CSS. Now we are importing this Bootstrap CSS. Now we have installed Bootstrap. So now the CSS file is also available. Now if I see here, I should see that doing the same thing but in React and React. There we have linked the src script tag, but here we have installed the component and we have imported it, and we have linked the CSS. Now we are working on actually two CSS files. One is Bootstrap CSS, and there is our custom project CSS. Now go to import Bootstrap distribution CSS Bootstrap min.css. Now I'm coming to node underscore modules and search for Bootstrap. Here it is there in Bootstrap. Then distribution, in distribution CSS, in CSS are able to see Bootstrap min.css. This we are actually importing. This is that 11,000 lines of code. Of course, this is minified version. You will find hardly 6, 7 lines, not more than. So much is there. So we are importing this in our app.js. How we got it? Because we have installed the Bootstrap. Then every component is the same thing. Now I wanted to try other components. Button we have tried it now, which is coming like this: primary, secondary, access, value, like that, link. Now you can try other components also. Now I'm checking on components. You can try these cards. You want this card? Yes, you can have it. I am just copying everything. And here I am putting everything into a div, a separate div actually. Div. Will this work or it won't work? Card we have to be imported. So here button area we have already imported it. Yeah, import card. Import card. Now it should work now. Now it should work. Why button? Why image is not coming? We have to give it this image. If you give that SRC, that will margins. No. You just check that available classes. Based on them, you can get. Every now, for example, you are talking about card, right? Now I am coming to these cards. Now we have used it. Now you wanted to customize it. In the bottom, you will find how to change it according to your requirements. How to use links, groups. You scroll down, you will find it. You will be getting the variables now. See. You may add a header by adding card.header component. You have to go to the images, how to add images. showing different things. Card styles, different flavors they have given it. You have to go through the documentation, music, border colors, how to give border colors, gift cards. If you wanted to give background color, how you can give, understanding everything they have given it. You can use it. Card body, footer, header, image, image overlay, card link, subtitle, so many things. I can cover this bootstrap only for 1 month. If we go in detail for each and every, but that doesn't make sense actually. According to our requirement, if you wanted to create your own, you just create inline style or just create it and use it. See, if we are using some style, doesn't mean it should be the same thing. CSS we can, we have something called priority. Whichever is inline, that will take highest priority. You can give like that. That will be taken. Got it? Now cards are there. Now carousel. If you want, you can try carousel. But carousel yesterday also we have tried. Carousel also you can try. You just copy paste it, customize it according to your requirement. Usually you put it in a component and you pass the props whatever you want and customize it. It's up to you. Understanding what I'm saying. All the JSXML they have given. Class names, what should be used, they have given. And what are the properties to be changed, what are the variants we have. Everything they have given. See, carousel, active index, AS, controls, boolean true, fade, indicator labels, indicators, boolean true. All these things they have given. Keyboard, next icon, next label. See, by default, next label is next. If you want something else, you can change it according to it. This is the property you have to change it. On select, on slide, on slide. Like for input, we have on focus, on blur, on change it like that. On slide, we have passing there over. So many things are there. This is for carousel items. Now interval, how much time you want the interval between. Now it is automatically moving between. How much time you want it, you can give it. All the documentation they have given. Of course, as I said earlier, you need patience to have a look into it. But normally, that much level of depth is not required. Normally, you just copy paste it and just change the uh, content according to your requirements. Colors also will be customized. I'll show you how to customize that. It's not like everyone. It depends. Bootstrap is popular among these things. We have one more is there called Material UI. Like Bootstrap, Bootstrap is a ready-to-use CSS framework. Like Bootstrap, one more is there called Material UI. That is from Google. But this is popular. If you know this Material UI also more or less something else. You can try that also if you want. Got it? Now, for example, model. Now, what I will do, I wanted to create something like this. Now, what I will do, I'll just copy this. I imported this model. Will this model work or it won't work? Perfect. That's why it won't work. It is showing already errors also. So now we are importing button. Button we have already imported. Model we are importing it. Model we are importing it. And use state also we have to use it because the internal uses use state. So we are importing use state also. Use state we have also no? We are working on that also. Then they have created a show. Now if I run this, getting on now. Now you want, you can change whatever you want within that kind. Now who you are reading this model, you change it whatever you want. Now I'll just come here. We are working on models for the first time. Now it will show that. Now you want tabs, for example. Tabs. They are providing you JSXML. Whatever the component you want, go to that component. React Bootstrap. Then for each component, they are showing different flavors of. Choose the flavor you want, choose the variant you want, basically, whichever you want it. Then use it according to your requirement. I think this seems to be good. So now we'll try to use this. Now what I will do, I will create this and copy this. But we should be good at one thing. What? Copy list. So I have copied it. Then I am pasting it here. Pasting it here. Then we have to import these things. I think I don't know if this works or not because they are using something called dot// components on it. But we haven't created something like that. I think this may not work for us. Naturally, it won't work for us because we don't have something called. See where the hell you get this solid. Where the hell you get that one? I'll just keep some content. Hmm. Because that sounded component is not there, I'm just replacing with some div content in it. Let us see where it comes up. Now I'm coming here. Now one, two, three. Are you able to see? See it? Yes or no? The content is here. It's only one line we are giving. This is tabs. Whichever is the tab that is showing with this color. Probably you want to highlight the different thing. You can do that. You have to go through their documentation. You can show like this also, tabs, vertical tabs. Then active key. See on select also they have given it. You want it to execute something without sonnet is just content only. Some content they have given it. See here. This is sonnet. Now there I have replaced with some text. That's got my point. The text which they are displaying, they have put it in a component called sonnet. Now because that is created by them, which is not available with us, so I have created a simple div in it, and there we are keeping it. That only it is showing here. 1, 2, 3. Now see one it is showing. Are you able to see? It is single line. If I make it multi-line, it will show accordingly. Now what I will do is here it won't work. Lorem it won't work here. Right? Won't work here. We come here, of course, nothing is there in the second tab. In the first tab only we have. For 4 components, 4 text you have to give. They have kept it in one single component and used it. Understanding what I'm saying? We can make our application really beautiful now, frankly speaking. We haven't implemented something like this before in React. Now that's colorful. It's not just coming like an alert. Now some fade effect. Now see everything is grayed out. Some colors now it is showing close and save changes. Close is showing as secondary color. This is showing as primary color. Now you want now you can change these things. Now close you show it in red color. Save changes show it in green color. Possible? Primary and yes. Now let us see where is our close. Close. Secondary is there and say danger and save changes. I'll give will show red and green. Beautiful, colorful, again decent also. Now if you want, you can give some shadows effect also, but you have to go through their documentation, how to give shadows and all this. Understanding any colors, combination of those eight: primary, secondary, success, warning, danger, light, dark, in these eight. Got it? Now, if you wanted to customize it, yes, you can do it. You have to go through their documentation. See, these are all the on select what you have to do on transition tabs. Everything they have given. If you wanted to disable the tab, yes, we can disable it. Boolean, true or false. Title, tab container. Spinner. Where is it? Spinners. What is there in it? Huh? We just go through that documentation. Now they have given a long tab. Remember, uh, according to the content, it is normally adjusting it. But if you want, still you can continue. That's what every Bootstrap is designed in such a way that it's customizable for every component. Now this is spinner. Now if you see at the bottom, they have given see so many details, sizing, different types of spinners. Now see, you specify what you want size, whether you want small or medium or large, like that. You can do which variant you want, which color you want, primary, secondary, success, danger, warning, info, light, dark. 2, 4, 7, 8. Understanding? Now, which one we'll try? You can try all these settings. There is nothing try here. How to try? Whenever you want it, display it. Whenever you don't want it, hide it. So I am coming here and I am just displaying. Right now, I am just keeping everything in app.js, but usually it won't be like that. Okay. Insert this copy paste. But again, we have to. If you want one, use one. Whenever you don't want it, hide. Display none, gone. Display none. Understanding? See, I am just showing you how to use it. Don't think that it is damn very simple, very easy. Little masala will be there. Masala means you have to understand the documentation. How they have given the documentation, that you have to understand and you have to use it. That is where the matter is actually. I'm just showing you overall the flow. Now, if you ask me how to go to Charminar, I'll say go left, go right, straight, and then go to that area. That's what I'll say. You have to dig deep and you have to do that. Got my point? Any other component you wanted to try? Answer. Forms. they have created it. Now, because you are asking from, I'll just copy this. Copying is also will be difficult. What form is this? Now what I will do, I create I'm creating a folder called components. Here I am creating a component called login. Login screen or 10th mark sheet or whatever it is. Now I'm saying RFCE. Basic part is done. Then so I have created this. Then what I will do, I will take this. This is also they have created the component. So I am taking this form and I will paste it here. So have copied this form and I pasted it here. Then the name of that component is login. Now naturally it won't work because we have to import in the login component. Now I can use this login component. But something is not. Is it coming properly? Checkout button is there. Submit is there. Checkout is there. Submit is there. Probably alignments are missing. Here it is showing everything. Okay. Now see what we are doing in app.js. Here class name app is there. Inside that everything is showing as center line. Probably that might be the issue. Now let us see this. Let me remove. Let us see what. Are able to see. Because here we have used this textile in center that is applying to them. Now otherwise what you can do, you just use it like this. And then when it comes to login component, we have form. So this form internally using form only. You can keep it in a div. For the div textile and center, textile and left you give it. Understand? Understand what is the problem? Because uh, this login component, is inside this div, which has a textile and center. That's why it is coming to this. Now, if you give that textile and left or right or center to this internally, it will not come. Got it? Likewise, you can try any other also. Checks and radios are there. See, radio button. It's not simple radio button. Some little glow extra they have given. Checkbox also. You can make more attractive pictures. They are showing like without labels. Customizing form check under green colors they are showing. That means success color. Now you can use it. What are the properties it supports? What are the functions it supports? All those things. If you go through these documentation for one or two components, you will be understanding how it's going to work. Understanding what I'm saying now, there is something called floating labels. This is also nice. So, they are saying we have done all the hard work. Just use it. That's simple. They have done all the hard work. Frankly speaking, you have to just learn how to use it. Definitely, the quality of your work will be increased 10 40 times. Yes, sir. Text areas. Select. We just go through it once you understand. Okay. And the next, what we are going to work on is how to customize. How to customize this bootstrap. Customizing mainly comes under colors. They have created around 8 colors: blue, gray, green, orange, red, and some light blue. Now you don't want blue at all. You want something else for that. How to customize. All these things we are going to learn now. Right? First of all, what you have to understand is that first of all, what you have to understand is this Bootstrap is not built CSS. Bootstrap is built using Saas. Bootstrap will be using. What is Saas, for example? I'm talking about CSS. Yeah. No, Saas hyperline. Saas means impractical as a functions. And if I go to this now see, just see, Saas is a preprocessed language that is interpreted or compiled into cascade instance. Saas script is the scripting language itself. The scripting language. So you can write if you can create you can write if else, you can create functions, you can write variables. Loops also can write it actually. But whatever you write inside that will be converted into cases. Now why they have created this? Because as I said earlier, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, even though it supports browser, they are not improvising it. After 30 years, it is still version 5 only. How long the Google Chrome is there? 10 years? Now, what I'll do, I'll say Chrome, about Google Chrome. What is the version? 109 versions they have released in 10 years. Sure. How long this Android is there? 13, 14, 15 years. Right? What is the latest version of Android? What is the version? Well, 10 or 14 is there. So make it 13 years back they have released it, 13 versions they have created. But what is the HTML version? How long they have created? 30 years, not 40. 93. 30 years back they have created it. As per Chrome speed, it should be a 200 or 500 should be there. As per Android speed, it should be at least 30 should be there. But they are still 5. What is CSS version? Version 3 is created long back. What is JavaScript version? JavaScript is 12 or 13. Actually, JavaScript is also not upgrading very frequently. We are lucky from past 6-7 years, they are releasing every year. So HTML, they don't release update quickly. CSS, they don't update quickly. JavaScript, they don't update quickly by default. But something happened to JavaScript, they are updating very quickly in the last 6 years. So when it comes to JavaScript, no need of using that because they are updating quickly. But when it comes to HTML, they are not upgrading, so we are using JSX. Because they are not upgrading, we are going to use Saas. These people have upgraded it, and at the end they will be converted into CSS only. Now let us look it into this Saas. Saas is the most mature, stable, and powerful professional-grade CSS extension language in the world. CSS extension, that means you can add extra features. They have added extra features to this CSS. CSS compatible, feature coverage, mature, industry approved, large community frameworks. That means whatever you write using Saas, that will be converted into CSS. That's why they are saying CSS compatible. They have added extra features to it. That's why it is feature. They are using this Saas from 16 years. That's why it's mature. Many people are using it, industry approved. Large community, so many people are using it. And based on this, there other people are also using it. See, Bootstrap is also using this one. Understand? Now, what we wanted to do, we wanted to learn this Saas. Once we learn the Saas, we can customize the Bootstrap because that is also development business. Got it? Now, let us try how to learn Saas. First of all, before you learn Saas, you have to install Saas. to install Saas. How do we install Saas? We just say npm install -g Saas. So just a package only. -g means what? -g means global, can be used in any project. Any project. If I write npm install Saas without -g, I can use that within that project only. Now, if I wanted to install React router DOM, say npm install React router DOM. That means this React router DOM is available within this project. If you want it in another project, you have to install it. But if you give -g, that means it is installed globally. Any project can be used. Got a point? But not everything is required to install globally. Very few things. Out of that, Saas is one. If you wanted to use it to do multiple projects. So what we'll do is npm install -g. It will be installed globally. So then let us try it. Now it's already installed in my system. Again, this is as space -, option. Again to see 1.56.2. Now, if I wanted to install npm, so npm install -g. Already there in the system, but I can uninstall. Now it will be installed globally, so I can install any file. It is installed. Now, if I click on, if I say space -open version 1.5, this is the version. Okay. Now, what I wanted to do, I don't want it to create CSS file. I want to create Saas file. Saas will be converting into CSS. The extension of this CSS is .css. The extension of .saas is .scss. .scss. Actually, it supports two formats again. .scss. SCSS is also there. SASS is also there. SCSS is recommended. Why? It looks more like coding. That's why this is recommended. So now what I wanted to do, I wanted to create a Saas file, not CSS file, Saas file. So what I will do here, so here what I am going to do, I am just creating SRC. I am just creating one.scss. One.scss I have created it. Not CSS file, it is Saas file. Yes, CSS Saas file. Now here I can write whatever I want. Now remember, browser cannot understand this. Browser understands CSS, not Saas. Okay. Now imagine I'm just showing you briefly. Here I said H1, and I'll say background color orange. Isn't it looking like CSS? CSS only. But now I have written it in Saas. Now what I have to do, this Saas should be converted into CSS. For that there is a command actually. Now you have to go through their documentation. Now if you go through learn Saas Go to their documentation. There is a command. Saas space hyphen watch. Saas file name you have to give. Then the name of the output file you have to give. Now, what I will do, understanding what I am doing, there is a command where it takes Saas file and converts it into CSS file. And here are able to see watch, icon watch. Icon watch means it's just not only converted, it will keep on watching. If there is any change in Saas file, it will automatically regenerate the CSS. That is the specialty of this watch. Now, what I will do, I will say, here, it says as this hyphen watch. Where is the file? Our file is in one.scss, which is in src, right? So I say src slash one.scss. Then space. Where I want that CSS file, I'll say src slash one.css. Now observe here, I'll just say enter. Now see what happens. CSS file will be created automatically. Compiled. Are able to see one.css is created. Now I am just opening this one.css. One.css also is the same. This is Saas. This is CSS. Now observe the beauty here. In a Saas file, I will change this to red. I have changed it. Now see, automatically it has recognized that I am changing, and the CSS is also generated. I think I have given wrong. Red I am giving it. Red I am giving it. Now it is automatically compiled. I should see. This is Saas. This is CSS. Now here in Saas, I am writing one more body. Background, color, folder. How done it? That's it. Automatically convert. Now if I see CSS, that's here also. So when it comes to Saas, we don't create CSS directly. We write it in Saas that internally generates CSS. But at the end, we'll be using CSS only because browser understands CSS. Understanding what I'm saying? Clear? Complicated? Understood how to install Saas globally? Understood how to generate the CSS to Saas to CSS? You just follow their comment. They have given clearly. But the most common mistake people do is all of our inside SRC folder. Inside the project, inside SRC folder, it is there. That's why you have to give SRC slash. See the command here. SRC slash one dot CSS to SRC slash one dot CSS. Got it? Now we will start working on the new features of the extra features of Saas. We'll start working on the extra features of Saas. Once we get some idea on Saas, we will customize Bootstrap because they have Bootstrap in Saas. Understand? In future, from today onwards, I recommend you to use Bootstrap in every project. I recommend you to use Saas in every project. So after a couple of days, you will be gaining experience. So whenever the interview time comes, naturally you are looking the output you create looks attractive. If you use the SaaS, then it will be better. If you use Bootstrap. Okay, point. Now let us come here and see the concepts of this SaaS. And learn SaaS. How to install it, we are already worked on. Now see, they are saying SaaS has two syntaxes. The SCSS syntax is used most commonly, and another is not SCSS, which is recommended to use. Why? It looks like more coding. Now see here. This is a SaaS, SCSS. This is SASS. Understanding? No semicolons are there. No brackets are there. Actually, which is easy? SASS is easy. Actually, we don't need to give anything. But we are already giving so many times in JavaScript now. So we have to remember JavaScript means flower brackets has to give, semicolon has to give. SaaS means flower brackets should not give, semicolon should not give. Why like that? You follow SaaS, SCS for JavaScript for this sake. It will be easier because you will be working on JavaScript more. Got your point? So this is more developer friendly than SCS. This is easier to write, but that is not developer. This is a developer friendly. That's why SCSS is recommended to use. That's why they have mentioned it. SaaS has two syntaxes. The CSS is used most, and they are saying it is a superset of CSS, which means all valid CSS is also valid SaaS. That means what is superset? Cake is the superset of bread. What is cake? They take bread, properly shape it, cream on top of it. Becomes cake. You take the cake, for example, remove all the cream. What do you see inside? Got my point? Masala dosa is the superset of plain dosa. They have given you masala dosa. You keep that curry side. It becomes plain. Understanding masala dosa is superset of exactly. SaaS is the superset of CSS. That means they have taken CSS, improvised it, and named it as SaaS. If you write CSS also still it works. You write CSS also still it works. Understanding what I am saying? Clear? The can I say cool drink is the superset of soda? Cool drink, like thumbs up. Now, for example, you give me thumbs up or Sprite, for example. Now, in that Sprite, if I remove all the sugar, what I do? Slow down. Carbonated water, let it slow down. So, cool drink is the superset of soda. Or soda is the superset of water. You take water, add soda to it. It becomes soda. For that soda, you add sugar to it. It becomes cool drink like Sprite. Supersets. Understanding? Motorcycle is the superset of cycle. You take cycle and add motor to it. Cycle. If you remove water, cycle. Got your point? So SaaS is the superset of CSS. That means even if you write CSS, it works. Got a point? That's what we have done now. What we have written here in Saas file is CSS only. It's still working. But the Saas supports few extra features. What are those extra features? I'll come here and see. It supports the concept called variables. We have used variables in JavaScript only, but variables can be used in Saas. And it supports nesting. I'll be covering this also. It supports partials, supports modules, it supports mixins. Mixins is nothing but functions. Don't you see this is like a function with parameter? Yes or no? Extend inheritance, operators, multiplication also you can do. Can we do multiplication in CSS? Here you can do it. Now if we go in detail, if you go to this documentation further, this documentation further. See, we can write if else. We can write if else. We can write for loop. This is for loop. We can write while. Okay. See, we can write while loop. We can write while loop. So, what is a Saas? Saas is nothing but CSS plus Q. But then I'm not you got okay. Saas is nothing but CSS plus few programming concepts. What are those few programming concepts? Variables, functions with parameters, loops, control statements like if else. All these things we can do. Why I haven't covered Saas at the time of CSS? Why I am covering them? CSS you can understand, but you don't understand what is variable, what is functions, what is loops. Then now you are comfortable with that. Now you can understand it easily. You just need the syntax. That's it. So the difference between CSS and Saas is CSS is CSS. Saas is CSS plus few programming concepts, but don't write heavy. It doesn't support like that. You know what is the difference between eagle wings and hen wings? Both has wings. Both are same. Hen wings are not as powerful as eagle wings. Eagle can go so far. You can see like this. It will be rounding like that at the top. But hen hardly 10 feet, 20 feet, not more. Still it is wings, but not as powerful as eagle wings. Exactly the same thing. These are okay, but it is not as powerful as JavaScript. Don't try to create an application using Saas. Won't. You Cannot, that is not as powerful. We have limited features. We have limited features. Got your point? Now, what we will start working, instead of writing CSS, we will start writing Saas. That will be converted into CSS. That will be using. That will be using. That how to do it, we'll be discussing in our next session. Got your point? Complicated? Understanding or complicated? You understand the concept. Whenever you wanted to understand the syntax, anyway, they have given it clear. Copy paste it and change it according to you. Once you practice multiple times, no need of coming and copy paste also. Now to create a function, are you copy pasting it or you are creating it? Creating it because you are familiar with it. You know, got your point? Majority people doesn't know how to customize Bootstrap like this. This is the efficient, effective way of Bootstrap, of customizing the Bootstrap. There are other approaches are also there, but that is not the standard approaches. Got a point? This is the approach recommended in their documentation. Even if you go to Bootstrap website, now if I go to the Bootstrap website, so go to docs. Now here, in customize, are able to see Saas here? I'm clicking on Saas. Now see, they are telling it here how to customize it. They are saying first you create your own Saas file, then import it, then use it. That's what they're saying. That anyway, we are going to discuss this in our future questions. Future next session we will discuss this. Okay, this is the most standard, stable way of customizing the CSS, Bootstrap, basically. Got my point? I just want you to try. What I want you to do, I want you to create, now see, just to give you an example. Now we have one dot CSS, right? I can import it in our app.js. App.js. I'm importing one dot CSS. Now CSS is generating now. That CSS I wanted to use. Generated CSS I wanted to use. Now if I see the output, now the color has changed. Now observe here, in a Saas file, I'll change this background color of body to orange. I'm changing it in Saas file. Whenever I change it, Saas is converting that Saas to CSS. CSS is automatically generated and it is reading it now. We are changing it in one file. That is generating another file. Our app.js is taking that CSS file and that is what is happening. We'll be working on the concepts of Saas in our next session. Like how do you say? I just given you briefly. What is that? Possibilities that we can write loops, we can write control statements, we can write functions with parameters, variables. We can write it. That is a possibility we have learned. In our next session, we'll be working. And if you see the project, we have downloaded Bootstrap, right? Now, if I search for Bootstrap, Bootstrap is here. If I open this Bootstrap in distribution, in CSS, we have imported this actually. Bootstrap min.css we have imported it. These are all CSS actually, but In the same Bootstrap, are able to see SCSS folder. In this SCSS folder, now see so many Saas files. So many Saas files they have created. Now we are going to use this Saas and generate CSS and use it in our application. Understanding that approach we are going to come. Don't think it is tough. It is very easy. Because what is difficult for you? CSS is difficult for you. No. Variables, control statements, loops, everything you have to use. But syntax is slightly different. But anyway, you don't use that heavy coding in Saas. Okay. I want you to try this. You just create, you just go through about the Saas. Once you install Saas, create the Saas file, write something and convert that into CSS and that I want to